getting to connect with others across the country and multiple departments of collegiate athletics. So it's been a great journey, and excited to sit down with you today. Obviously, we have some similar pasts, jobs, and whatnot, but
Yep.
would love for you to just kind of lay out who you are and how you got to Oklahoma, and then specifically like in your role.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Well, obviously, my name is Hunter Lomshek. I have been with Oklahoma for going on 4 years now. It's been a heck of a ride. First off, with joining the SEC and then into just a monumental stadium project right now. It's been the time to be at Oklahoma. I feel like, and obviously, we are still doing really good things. We're winning national championships, but specifically for being a development assistant or, specialist, anyone that focuses on fundraising, this is the place to be because it's just fundraising specifically for a facility project has been, kind of just career defining. But before that, kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself, I was at the University of Kansas, like you mentioned. I graduated in 2022. I was within the Williams Education Fund. Prior, I think they might have changed it to just the athletics development, but spent about a year and a half there after I graduated in 22. Didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, and I knew my next step was becoming a graduate assistant. So that's what led me to Oklahoma. But even before that, I was born and raised in Florence, Kansas. So certainly, certainly knew my roots were Kansas Jayhawks through and through. But sometimes, in this career, you don't necessarily know what your next step is. And luckily, I found a home here at Oklahoma. So yeah, going on about a year and a half full time here within the actual foundation, which is the overarching fundraising / development of all of the University of Oklahoma. We just specifically focus on athletics. So that's a quick, short and sweet about me. Yeah, little synopsis.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Obviously cool having similar backgrounds with development at Williams Education Fund here
Yeah.
at KU. And then ultimately you being back on the development side of things, kind of go through your day to day on what you specifically do
Yeah.
there at Oklahoma. Cause I mean, it's development can be like a foreign concept for, I don't know, maybe a college kid or just
Yeah.
something of that nature of like what all you do and what all you go through to make sure donors are in seats and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely think development is I feel like a kind of under the radar type of thing when it comes to college athletics. It's certainly a thankless job. We're kind of like the heartbeat of an athletics department. You can't have money, or if you don't have money, you can't have all the fancy things. You can't have the marketing. You can't have the players, whatever it may be. So it's really our job to do that. And specifically for the Sooner Club, each of our development associates, we have about 200 to 300 accounts or season ticket holders, and it's our job to obviously enhance the experience of them, but as well as holistically support our student athletes, whether that may be our nutrition, our scholarships, books, living arrangements, whatever it may be. Now, in a new age, you have to pay that 20.5 that was just passed this past year. And how we do that, it's by annually, gradually increasing our support through our annual fund, but as well as going out and getting that major gift that will help hopefully support those facility projects that will in turn pay for what we have to do to stay relevant. And it's even more demanding now that we're into the SEC. So it's been a heck of a journey, but it's all fun. It really is all fun. But specifically, my area is I work within the advancement growth and strategy. So it is kind of those campaigns, those smaller annual funds, how we can increase that money we know is coming in to become even more. But I do also do a little bit of major gift work. Luckily, it's a really cool opportunity that we have here at OU.
Yeah, for sure. Just as much, I mean, I don't know how much detail you can kind of go into, but kind of describe maybe just in a scenario of how you are advancing and growing when, let's say, a couple thousand or even like a couple $100 come in the door. How are you advancing that?
Yeah, yeah. So a whole lot we deal with, within my team, we do specific sports work. So whether it may be our single game hosting for softball or for baseball, getting those people in the door, hopefully seeing the experience that they can help, paint the picture for them, their family. And then as well as that's just kind of how we start to grow camaraderie with our accounts, but as well as just start to show and paint the picture of what it may be, but as well as some of our premium campaigns. So each Division 1 football program, I'm sure, has some sort of premium seating. And that's a big thing within our AGS team, how we can get premium in the door to start opening up what it looks like to a family that might not experience that before, and how that can start to overall give philanthropically to the OU athletics. So that's kind of some things I would say, but as well as just our rotational, our annual calendar, whether it may be OU Texas selection, whether it may be parking, start to open up accounts eyes of, hey, if I give X amount, I get to this membership level, I can get these experiences. So some working on those smaller gifts, but as well as some of the growth part is we start to harness some of those smaller accounts, those younger accounts, and then open their eyes up to giving major or philanthropically to really just enhance their experience, but as well as just show the impact that they can make towards OU athletics as a whole.
No, for sure. I think we're doing a lot of that too. And I think a lot of, I mean, pretty much every big four, power four, and pretty much every college is just trying to expose maybe like that family that's from Lawrence or from
Yeah,
Norman, and they're just trying to, and like you said, enhance their game day experience, and they want to know, hey, what's going on over there? What's the construction,
right.
or what do you got coming new that we can maybe invest in, and everything like
Yep.
that. You mentioned a little bit before having to transition or getting to transition into the SEC. How did you see that through your lens? And then how did you expose that to, like you said, donors or families, and just kind of getting that narrative like, hey, we're in the SEC now. Like, this is pretty big.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, certainly the draw for whenever I was, eventually exiting the University of Kansas, I was really just applying everywhere, anywhere that gave me an opportunity to become a graduate assistantship, get that master's degree. And luckily, OU, a premier program, kind of reached out. They were the first ones to really open up their arms and let me kind of explore. And when they were, asking me a lot of interview questions, what came to mind is just that move. I mean, you don't really see that. You're seeing it more and more, but you don't really see that moving to a great conference in the Big 12 to even better within the SEC, where on every single facet, whether it may be baseball, which we just, climbed the mountain there, but softball to, an evolving Big 12 conference, or evolving basketball conference such as the Big 12, and obviously the football. So I really wanted to see kind of what it was. And I feel like in my short time within college athletics, it was career defining, even though a lot of the things stay the same. It's just in the motto, it just means more, which it certainly does. And I've seen it. Our fans are investing at a higher clip. We're putting up really good numbers. And that's why I wanted to be here. But to answer your question, we've like I mentioned, we've asked more from our supporters. It's just they they realize that if they want to be as competitive and as notorious as they were in the Big 12, they need to help us, and we're not afraid to ask, which is certainly good. We're on a level playing field when it comes to our supporters. But like I mentioned, I mean, we're not getting money. We weren't getting money from the SEC for the first couple of years, so we dug deep into those pockets, and we really did. We made it out. It was a grind, but as well as this 20.5 is going to become more apparent. So that's why we thought this whole West Side project was something that was needed, specifically just the facilities on that side, the concourse. It was showing every bit of its age. So we thought now was a really good time. It will help offset a lot of those costs now that we have to play players and be competitive, certainly.
Yeah. No, I spoke with, I think, your coworker Derek a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And he mentioned about having to go in on a full receipt for the football stadium,
Yeah.
which obviously can be daunting, and people are, I mean, there's going to be positive and negative
Yeah.
commentary on that. What's that process been like? Kind of reaching out to people and be like, hey, like we're gonna have to like reseat, and then also like it's gonna be a lot different from the experience before. We can spin it in like a positive way too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been super, super hard. I mean, really, we have to do our due diligence in terms of speaking to every single person. And obviously you have to hear both sides of the stories, really. A lot of people who may be younger or maybe have been waiting for that opportunity to get in are seeing it as an opportunity, which it certainly is. And it's an opportunity for every single person. But as well as you're hearing the stories from families who have been there for decades, upwards of a century, and you really do have to, empathize, but as well as play that level field of serving them as a guide. I mean, it's really if they've done their time and they say that we've done our support, you really lay out the options, but as well as if they want to see this as like legacy play for their kids, their grandkids, you can also play that. But it has certainly has been hard, but it's setting us as development officers for success, but as well as it's setting OU athletics as a whole for success. I mean, this project, like I touched before, it's certainly needed, but we thought instead of just reseating the west side, it would make it most fair to reseat the whole stadium. But it's an uphill battle for sure. It's every bit of 80,000 accounts, 80,000 ticket holders that we have to go. And obviously, we're not over at the Sooner Club doing all of it. We're having our help at the ticket office as well as legends or Learfield guys. So it's been a grind. We still have about a year and a half until we actually do it. So still a lot of opportunity in front of us, and I'm excited. It really gets me excited. It gets our whole staff excited that we want people to be here. We have our supporters in front of us. It's just letting us do it. Really.
Yeah, I can kind of attest to being like 3 years ahead of you
Yeah.
guys in the sense of like we have the stadium pretty much 75% built. And
Yeah.
so getting to just educate now
Hmm.
new season ticket holders or new people that want to come in
Hmm.
and then kind of want to explore all the options and letting them take tours just face to face, like actually
Yeah.
in the stadium and them getting to see them for themselves is something that's really cool. And I think that's a big part of it because I mean it's daunting for like someone that's just like, hey, I just want to get seats somewhere or I just want to
Yeah.
give and but obviously new stadium, new stuff like that can
Hmm.
be super challenging. So I think, yeah, that communication is definitely the biggest key and like getting them to see everything that we're offering or you're offering going forward and then letting them kind of analyze it themselves.
Yeah. Certainly. Certainly. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we're excited for the future. A lot of a lot of it has been really good feedback, but it's needed most of. Yeah.
What's the I know you got didn't you play did you play Michigan last year? You played Michigan. Do you play
Yeah.
Michigan
So
again this year?
yeah, we had a home and home. So last year they came um, a little bit later. I think it was week 4. But we actually head there week 2 this year, which is crazy. I mean, we have a Friday night game here in exactly 1 month, and then we're off to Ann Arbor, which ton of our season ticket holders are excited for. I think we're going to have some sort of donor trip that will host there. So I'm hoping and praying that I'll be able to make it up. But regardless, I think I'll be able to. I think we've got a few trips planned. I mean, and obviously OU Texas down in Dallas. We'll have our whole staff down there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Fortunately for myself, just as a side trip vacation, we play in London this year versus Arizona
Yeah.
State. So I booked the ticket. I'm going. So big. I'm excited about it. Kind of exposing the game in Europe, and
That's crazy. I'm a little envious of that. We haven't had that yet, but it's good because I know we do. At least college football does the Dublin game. But is this the first year with London?
yeah,
Oh,
first year in
yeah,
Wembley. Yeah,
yeah, that's
I'd,
awesome.
I'd imagine they're I'd imagine they're going to expand it into
Yeah,
more places. I think it's the only game in Europe this year. I don't know if they're doing another Dublin one, but
okay.
I don't know. I'd have to check again. But you still follow the Hawks?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do my due diligence. I try to keep my fandom quiet around here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I grew up true Jayhawk, so I have to. I'm excited for this basketball team. I know it's been a little wishy washy. We have a new team every single year, like, but I'm excited for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Should be a fun year. Should be a fun year for your guys' basketball team too. Kind of wanted to go back and like your personal self and how you are kind of connecting with or like what skills or just ways that you can connect with even others in your department or if you're talking with donors and kind of expanding on your knowledge on OU sports. Like what are maybe like some soft skills or maybe hard
yeah.
skills too that you kind of implement in yourself that you find successful.
Yeah, well, I think certainly when you work within college athletics, one obviously try to be as I mean, similar to what you're doing right now, just try to network as much as you can because it's honestly, you feel real small right now coming out of college, and that's what I did. But it is a really, you know, you think it's such a big field, but it is honestly a very small field. People know people. You know, a lot of people within my office, I'll just say, you say at school, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he works there or she works there." So try to do your best in terms of meeting people, connecting. But specifically for myself, when it comes to my accounts or my donors, I would say, is just working with honesty and integrity for like the very top for me. I mean, if you don't really work with integrity or you have that honesty with your accounts, then the trust is going to easily be broken. You can work for a year and a half to build trust with an account, but you can ruin it in one day. So try to stay very level headed and always try to work with that. But as well as I really realized that if you're in college athletics for the wrong reasons, whether it may be to make money or to cheat the system, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. It's really you're working for something on your shoulder or on your chest. It's not going to be for something that your own personal gain. I mean, you're really here to support student athletes the best you can, but as well as represent your university. And so that's what I always do. I'm a pretty loyal man. I didn't think I'd ever leave really KU, and now I'm here at OU, and I don't really anticipate leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I truly care about the universities that I work for, and yeah, that's really all I got, Ryan.
Yeah, you were the Sooner on the front and Jayhawk on the back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I I
What's,
got yeah,
yeah, what's the hardest part of your job?
man, it's a difficult job, that's for sure. It's obviously it's taxing when it comes to the amount of hours that you work. Specifically, the season that we're approaching, Ryan, football season, straight into some of our successful winter spring sports, softball, baseball. It's about 6 months where it's demanding, and obviously I love it, so it makes it a little bit easier. But as well as some of the conversations that we're having right now are difficult. I mean, maybe I'm being very honest. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's you have to empathize with people that you don't necessarily know exactly what those tickets mean to people,
Mhm.
the who they've sat next to, their kids have grown up next to, the grandkids are just now seeing. They mean a lot to people, and you really have to empathize, but as well as paint a picture that they might not necessarily like to hear. So I think that's difficult, but it's made me a better person. It's made me a better personal person with personal skills, but as well
Yeah.
as it's hard. It certainly is. But I definitely think that's my my two difficulties. But it's all for the love of what I do, and I certainly like it.
Yeah, no, it's fun working in sports, and it's a
Yeah,
fun reminder to be like, "Hey, I get to
yeah,
be on field on game days or in the nicest suites or just talking with
yeah,
some folks and that have a net worth of a bajillion dollars." And and it's a cool experience all around,
yeah.
and sometimes you just
Certainly
gotta
is.
pinch yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It certainly is. But yeah, it's all for the love of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, blanking. Oh, yeah, game days. So for game days, what does that look like for you? Are you mostly talking with your donors? I'd
Yeah.
imagine you're kinda going around the stadium and just making sure everything's all good and how their experience is going?
Yeah. So obviously, from I would say January to July, there's been a plenty of gifts. There's been plenty of wins that I want to steward. So half of the battle is working to get someone to buy in our mission, but as well as that's not it. That's not as soon as you close that, there's a whole other section, and that's making them feel happy with what their commitment is. And so a lot of it is going to see them during game days at the tailgate or at their seats or swinging them down to pregame sideline or whatever it may be. But as well as we only have 7 games, football season goes real quick. And while it does feel like forever in the grand scheme of the fall, you only have 7 opportunities to see people who, one, are from halfway across the country that fly in for that Saturday, or two, it's someone who is seriously thinking about supporting and seeing it in real life, the magnitude of what they're supporting. is certainly it's key for some people's decisions. And then as well as just like three, this is the key driver to our athletics department. And so game days, you have to maximize them, whether it may be, getting a piece of paper and just marking out your hours, or your pregame, your mid game, your post game, whatever it may be, however works for you is kind of what I'm doing. But to answer your question, it is a lot of, swinging by our club area, saying hi to the folks I haven't seen in a year, or, you know, looking for the next guy who can help support, whatever it may be. They are really key. And if you don't get them right, it's certainly hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see, like you said, it's half the battles of getting them there or
Mhm.
getting to them to buy in all that stuff, and then the other half is actually being that steward and going to see them and just see how things are going. That's something
Yeah.
that I've learned, at least because I started back here like early September of last year, so it's kind of already football season. So
Mhm.
still getting familiar with my accounts on my end, and
Yeah.
obviously being in the ticketing side, I have a lot more to. It's like 800 or something like
Yeah.
that. But having to like kind of see where they are and just kind of check in on them is
Yeah.
super key and something that I hope to do a lot more this year and everything
Yeah.
like that. So I mean, game days is just fun, and I'm sure Norman's just next level, especially for football. Yeah, just a great time, and I'm
Yeah.
sure just the game day atmosphere is like no other.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's only ramped up. I've definitely have some fond memories of Lawrence in the fall, but Norman's definitely it's crazy. It's a good time. I always recommend, if you can make it down, especially when we were at the college football playoff last year when Alabama came to town. Not
Yeah,
not the result that we were looking for, but it was a heck of a memory for sure.
yeah. John Mateer's back, right? And then
Yeah,
I mean, I'd assume you guys got a ton of recruits, so
yeah,
looking for
yeah,
obviously a playoff team this year.
yeah, yeah. We have certainly returned just about, I think, six of our starters from defense, which is really big. And hopefully we get a decent starting rotation when it comes to our offensive line. I think I heard Coach Venables say that they ran through about 11 rotations last year. So if we can dial in on one, protect John, our weapons have continued to stay healthy on offense, we'll have a good shot. I mean, we have quite the schedule though. So half the battle is going to be staying healthy for sure. I mean, it's going to be UTEP, Michigan, New Mexico, and then we're right into the gauntlet starting against Georgia when it comes to the SEC in week 4. So it's crazy, but we'll be good. I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no weeks off for you guys.
No. No. Yeah. And then Texas on week 5. So we'll
Yeah,
we're,
well,
yeah, we got a tough one.
yeah, good luck, obviously. Going back a little bit to kind of round this out, just a couple
Mhm.
more questions. Going back to more of your career and everything like that. Did you have? You said you didn't really know after college what you were going to do, so you're applying a lot to places. Did you have any mentors or people that kind of guided you through the process, whether that was in college or just kind of gave you good advice, or even at Oklahoma as of right now? Like any people that stand out to you that just really helped you?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of people who have poured into me. Certainly, when I was at KU, I didn't have him as a professor, but Dr. Kish. I don't know if you're familiar. He's worked within our sport admin program. I think he has since retired. He's helped out with me and my family quite a bit, just being there, believing in us. So I would definitely say him first off, but specifically within the Williams Fund, I feel like I really gathered a lot of friendships there that have since carried for the foreseeable future. Robbie Jeffries, he's down there in Dallas now, but he was at Williams Fund, and then as well as Logan Samuelson, he's up in Wisconsin now. Still stay connected with those guys. But here at Oklahoma, I feel like the two guys leading it all for me are Dylan Stanley, who's my direct supervisor, and as well as John Burkett, who's super well connected, has poured into me. Both of them, they've done a really good job. So I would say those are about my 4 or 5 right now. But it's never too late to find a mentor, but as well as it's never too early to become one. So I'm just trying to do my best to lead by an example, influence whoever I can, whether it may be our students or whatever. But yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, no, Robbie's I was close with when I was an intern.
Mhm.
I was here for his last day actually, so I think it
Yeah,
was like late April of last year that he went to Dallas, but yeah, he was awesome, always
Yeah,
energetic, always positive, just
yeah,
you know what you were getting out of him, and he
yeah,
was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the stuff you wanna see as an intern, especially in an athletic department, is just people that reach out and
Mm,
care about you and hope to be at your or hope that you get to that next step.
mhm.
And then to just kinda round it out, speaking of next steps, where do you see yourself going? And for your career, obviously very young in your career as well, but
Mm.
what's ultimately your goals?
Yeah, I mean, that's a super loaded question as well.
Sorry.
I think in the next 3 to 5 years, I really don't anticipate myself going anywhere. I think this project, like I mentioned, is super career defining. I love the people here. I love the accounts that I've made connections with. I feel like family, but as well as I want to see this project through for sure. I think we're building some really cool things here at Oklahoma. I think outside of football, outside of men's sports, women's sports are killing it. We just won baseball without having the top tier facilities. So we have that project. We have a new basketball project here that is since getting just broke ground. I think this past summer. So for the next 3 to 5, I really don't see that moving too much. But as well as in terms of goals, I just really want to support student athletes however I can. I hope to make people happy when it comes to their decisions that are made to support our University of Oklahoma athletic department, but as well as if you really want something specific, hopefully one day to get into some sport or administration here, whether it may be supporting some baseball or softball or whatever. But yeah, no true goal. I really just look to support however I can our student athletes and as well as just making a difference. So that's kind of what I got, Ryan.
Yeah. No, one it's a one day at a time,
Yeah,
career for sure. It's just
mm,
never know what's gonna happen, and obviously big projects coming up for you guys, and
yeah,
we're finishing out ours. I think one last thing is and I wanna get to the fun stuff if you have time, just talking
yeah.
about Lawrence, but just one last thing, if you were a college kid now, what would you do to kinda, like, set yourself apart to be in the position you are or just in college sports in general?
Man, yeah. I would tell you right now, when I was in college, I certainly was not planning ahead as much as I should have. But I would definitely think like I don't necessarily think I worked as much within the athletic department as I should have when I was a student. Just getting the experience and specifically like starting to learn personal skills because in our job in our field, Ryan, it's like if you don't know how to talk to someone, then you're not going to be able to make it. And so I think just getting personable skills of how you can talk to someone fluent, whoever it may be, and then as well as really just learning how to interview. I feel like I struggled when I finished college. I feel like I didn't really necessarily know interview skills. So just kind of getting those interview skills, acting like you've been there before, whatever it may be, is certainly something that I feel like would help. However it is, hopping on Zoom buddies or whatever it may be, it certainly will help. But as well as just getting that experience, because if you don't have experience in today's world, no one's gonna pass here. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think the college experience or just having experience in college is probably people's number one, like, thing that they wish they did.
yeah,
I obviously wish I did it too. I mean, even starting as early as, like, freshman or sophomore year, just getting involved. I think a
yeah,
lot of people wish that they could do that going back, but
yeah,
obviously hindsight's 2020. But no, that's a great answer because that's very similar even for someone that's been out for only a year. Is like just wanting to get more experience
yeah,
and do all that. Yeah, no, I appreciate you. I'm sure you have to go and busy
yeah,
day. I appreciate you taking the time today, Hunter. It's
certainly,
been awesome, and it's cool to see similar paths, and then obviously it all leads back to Lawrence. So
yeah.
appreciate you hopping on, and this was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm glad we finally got connected, and let me know how I can help in the meantime, and as well as the
Yeah,
future. Let's stay
for
connected.
sure.
Let's
What'd you
do it.
say?
I said let's stay connected for the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'll let you know if I'm ever in Norman, and yeah,
yeah.
let me know if you're coming to a KU game, whether it's basketball or football. We can meet up. Yeah, for sure. Have a good fall.